quarter of his power.
To the first session of Vedic astrology. In this session, we are going to talk about the creation of the universe. So let's start. Sri Vishnu authored the universe and administers it with a quarter of his power. Lord Vishnu, coupled with Sri Shakti, rules over the three worlds. Lord Brahma, coupled with Bhu Shakti, is causing the universe. Lord Shiva, coupled with Nila Shakti, is destroying the universe. The Lord is in all beings and the entire universe is in Him. So, what we got to know that Sri Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, authored the universe and He administers it as well. Lord Brahma created the universe and Lord Shiva is the destroyer. He is destroying the universe, and destroying the universe means he is destroying the evil forces, the negative energies, the demons. All beings contain both Jivatma and Paramatma. Now here comes the concept of Jivatma and Paramatma. So Paramatma is the supreme soul. Paramatma is that soul which will take you towards knowledge, which will take you towards wisdom. And whereas Jivatma is something which will take you toward desire. Jivatma is related to desire. And whenever desire comes, there is a karma which is created. In order to achieve that desire, we create a karma. A person creates a karma. So Paramatma is predominant in the grahas from Sun, etc. and Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu and others. Their powers too have predominance of Paramatma. Others have more of Jivatma. Now, even the powers which these planets are having, even the powers which the lords, Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Lord Shiva, even the powers which they are having, they have the predominance of Paramatma. Others have more of Jivatma. Who are others? Others are the people, the human beings, the animals, other living beings who have desire for food, who have desire for luxuries, who have desires to achieve something big, who have materialistic desires, who have the desires related to the Panch Dhatus. Right? We'll be talking about the Panch Dhatus, Sab Dhatus in the upcoming sessions. So, for now, we have to understand only this thing that Paramatma is the supreme soul which will take you towards the wisdom, towards knowledge, and Jivatma is something which is related to the desires. The four incarnations, Rama, Krishna, Narasimha, and Varaha, are completely with Paramatma. The unborn Lord has many incarnations. He has incarnated as the planets, Navagrahas, to bestow on the living beings the result due to their karmas. And he is Janardana. He assumed the auspicious form of grahas to destroy the evil forces, and sustain the divine beings. So this was all about the creation of the universe. I have kept it short. So if you will understand these things, if you will remember these points, then it will be enough for a basic understanding of the creation of the universe. Now let's go further to the another slide. So now we'll be talking about the great incarnations of the Lord. So every planet is considered to be an incarnation of a Lord. So likewise, the sun is the incarnation of Lord Rama. The moon is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Mars is the incarnation of Lord Narasimha. Mercury is the incarnation of Buddha. Jupiter is the incarnation of Vamana. Venus is the incarnation of Parashurama. Rahu is the incarnation of Varaha. and Ketu is the incarnation of Meena. So you have to remember these points. Varaha resembles a pig and Meena resembles a fish. And Meena is the 12th Rashi as well, which is Pisces. So you have to just remember the names, that which planet is the incarnation of which lord, right? So you have to just remember the names because the qualities of the lords actually defines the planet as well, the qualities of the planet as well. So you have to just keep in mind these things. Let's go further to the another slide. So here we'll be going with the characteristics of the planets and the description of the planet science. So this is a long session where we'll be talking about the planets, the signs, nakshatras. So let's start. There are many luminous bodies which we see in the sky. Out of these, some are stars, some are planets. Those that have no movement are the nakshatras. So what we got to know, that the nakshatras are the luminous bodies which don't have any movement. They are fixed, stationary. Whereas the planets are the luminous bodies which moves. Whereas Sun is a planet which never moves. Sun is a planet which remains stationary at its position, but the fact that when we look towards the sun from the earth, then we see that the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. So it seems like that the sun is moving. So that's why the sun is considered as a planet, and he is the king of the planet, right? Sun is considered the king. So in astrology, we have 27 nakshatras and 7 planets. In total, there are 9 planets, but actually there are 7 planets, and the other 2, Rahu and Ketu, are considered as the shadowy planets. They are the shadows. These 2, that is Rahu and Ketu, are the nodes of the moon. Rahu is the north node and Ketu is the south node. And they both are 180 degrees apart from each other. Now let's go through the names of the planets. I know that you might be knowing the names of the planet, but then also let's go through the names of the planet. Yeah. So the names of the 9 planets are the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. These planets move through the nakshatras in the zodiac. The zodiac comprises of 27 nakshatras starting from Ashwini. Ashwini is the first nakshatra. The same area is divided in 12 equal parts equal to Rashis. So which same area we are talking about? The area of the zodiac, which consists of 27 nakshatras. That particular area is further divided into 12 Rashis, which are equally divided of 30 degrees each, right? And the total of 360 degree. 30 into 12 is 360, and there are 12 Rashis. So in total we have an area of 360 degrees. So there are 12 zodiac signs, that is 12 Rashis, commencing from Aries. And Aries is the first zodiac sign. Aries is the first Rashi. It is the first sign. Now, this sign rising in the east is known as the Lagna or the ascendant. Now, this is also a very important point to remember, that what is the ascendant? Ascendant is the sign rising in the east, and ascendant is of very much importance because the thing is that ascendant decides how the planets will behave. It's the ascendant which decides how the houses will behave. Okay, because it is the ascendant on the basis of which we decide the lordship of the planets. So we'll be talking about everything in detail in the upcoming sessions. For now, what you have to remember is some of the points which are the base of astrology, and which are the, like, in a dish there are ingredients and without ingredients you can't cook a dish, right? You can't even think of preparing a dish, right? So similarly, without the knowledge of these points, you can't start with astrology. So, what are these points? The first is the nakshatras. There are 27 nakshatras. The nakshatras are fixed, they don't have any movement, and there are 9 planets in total, and out of which 7 planets are considered as the actual planets, and the other 2 planets, that is Rahu and Ketu, are considered as the shadowy planets. Then you have to remember the names of the 9 planets. Then the zodiac. What is the zodiac? Zodiac consists of the 27 nakshatras, and which is equal to the 12 rashis, and each rashi is of 30 degrees. In total, we have 360 degrees, and the sign rising in the east is known as the lagna or the ascendant. So these are the points which you have to remember. I hope you enjoyed this session. We'll be talking in detail about the nakshatras in the next session, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.